Hi, my name is Callum, and I'll be presenting on external influencing factors on behaviour and how they can impact the sales of solar panel installation within Australia. This report is based off AGL Energy. AGL is Australia's largest energy supplier, providing 4.2 million residents, businesses, and wholesalers with a range of gas, electrical, and telecommunications services. Currently, the company is rebranding as an environmentally sustainable company which aims to reach carbon neutrality for electrical needs and transition to a renewable source of electrical generation. As AGL continues with their business model to install solar panels on the roofs of customers, using external factors will help with the marketing towards the desired target market of dual-income households with young children. In the last report, internal factors were used to create 3 recommendations aimed to improve customer knowledge, reposition the brand's image, and increase customer awareness. With the target market being parents of young families, family dynamics are a major external factor in the consumer decision-making process. When analysing this, I will be making the assumption that the target market's family unit is based on 2 parental figures and 2 children. Both parents are assumed to be working full-time hours while the children will currently be enrolled in a form of education. These assumptions are being made based off the data from the Australian Bureau of Statistics based on average size homes within our country. With solar panel installation being a large investment, the families will also be required to own their own home on their own dwelling. When looking at a report investigating parents' concerns by the ABC, environmental worries were the 3rd largest concern for these families, third to education and the cost of living. This interest is also mirrored within their children, with children aged between 10 and 16 most concerned about the environment and climate change and what they can do to reduce their impact. These are concerns which are discussed within families across Australia and have led to a growth in consumers' worries surrounding the goods they purchase and how they are impacting the planet with their financial spendings. As shown in a McKinsey report, this has led to families purchasing products which can be seen more as investments as they last long-term and are more sustainable. Alongside environmental issues, price is still a large concern for Australian families. Therefore, providing sustainable products that do not affect the cost considerably is a balance in which consumers are looking for. The use of solar panels is a form of dynamic innovation which requires a modest amount of change in behaviour for consumers. With current trends moving away from the reliability of fossil fuels and the demand for electricity growing to supplement fossil fuel technologies, for example cars, consumers are already aware of the technology and are currently researching and evaluating the use of home solar panels. Solar panel installation is now in the early majority of its adoption and still requires further marketing to increase consumers' change in usage. When looking at the current adoption process, trialing the product is rarely provided and can deter people from making their sizable financial purchase. With the target market having a strong focus on the way in which their disposable income is spent, allowing consumers to trial and decide if the product will be beneficial for their needs is assumed to increase sales and also customer involvement. AGL's current marketing advertising strategy, used to promote a more renewable, sustainable future, focuses on wind farms, solar panels, and the electrical grid. These advertisements do not evoke any emotion and can be seen as quite dry. By switching techniques which aim to evoke emotion and mirror a family dynamic, will be better received by the target market. Based on the current ways families view the future and their environmental impact, I recommend that advertisements reflect the target market and use emotive language to drive consumers to switch and install solar panels. As solar panel installation is expected to drop 4.1% in 2021, incorporating children, families into the future of these advertisements, I assume that parents will be emotionally connected to the advertisement. By using this and mirroring conversations which we already know occur within these homes, parents will be reminded about the solution to their concerns and further investigate from their pre-existing knowledge. This advertising technique can be seen as a reminder and a trigger to any pre-existing ideas and plans that partners had prior to the COVID-19 pandemic. The installation of solar panels is not a cheap investment. and many consumers are not 100% sure it will be worth it and work with their family lifestyles. With being connected on the grid for many years, consumers may be concerned about the effectiveness of the switch and how much it will actually benefit them and the environment. As mentioned previously, being able to trial a product can be an influencing factor if a consumer moves into the adoption phase during the adoption process. After looking at the way companies across the world have attempted to provide this option, I believe that AGL can introduce a program that allows consumers to trial their product. Solar power companies offer customers the chance to have home systems installed for free under the condition that if they do not purchase the product, the company can use the roof space of their home to generate solar electricity for the grid for 20 to 25 years in the UK. Given that the target market will most likely already have a 20 to 30-year mortgage and intend on living in that family home, the development of the installation plan, which can allow the customer to withdraw from the costs associated with installing and upkeep of solar panels while providing a relatively little cost to the company, is a product which many other companies cannot offer, as they do not run both as an installer and electrical provider. This will not only affect the consumers, but also provide comfort for families who are concerned about the costs with installing and the upkeep